Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. As I do. Now I have this advice to make a holder that can be used in their garden to avoid having to put a bank or table aside and will look very good. But best of all, they can be buried in the grass so they can take them from the field day or have several for when they make roasted meats in the garden, and so everyone can have their drinks without having to have them all at a table or have to stop every time we want to drink something. So we see that we will need to do them. We will need a can, either beans or those of soups that have the space to put a normal glass of fabric that you want to line the can. In this case it is of a shirt that no longer uses the scissors to cut the fabric, the coiled rod that more or less measures 1 meter long by 5 millimeters wide, but it can be thinner or wider depending on you. 2 nuts and 2 rondanas of the measurement for this rod. I resist the white to hit the fabric, but they can also paint it that this step can be jumped. Quick glue to hit the nuts, but it is optional. A hot silicone pistol, a key, or in this case a head scroller to tighten these nuts, and something very important. Do not forget to save the can to measure the size of the fabric we will need. Apart from this we will use a drill or a hammer with a nail, so we see how to do it. We take our can and we will turn it so that the base is up, and there in the center we will make a hole with our drill and a drill of the width of the rod to be able to easily put it. If the exact size did not have the drill, we only have used the hole to make it larger in between without problems as shown in the video. Then we grab the fabric and stretch it on a flat surface. Take the label of the can and measure more or less so that it is the size of it, making sure that it is a little longer than the original label. We cut, and since we have done it, we cut another piece of fabric of the same length but as 2 fingers wide, or more or less 2 centimeters, since this we will put in the internal part of the can, so that we do not cut when we use it. Already finished, it should be seen more or less as follows as shown on the screen. As you can see, it is a little longer than the original label since we need it. Now we take our previously reduced glue, a part of glue on a part of water, and we spread it throughout the widest fabric. Since we have impregnated it well, we grab our can and start hitting it, trying to make it as right as possible. It does not have to be exact, but as neat as possible to look good. Already finished, it must be seen more or less as shown in the video. We do the same with the other piece of fabric by putting a layer of glue on a whole side of it, and then we grab the can, but here we will hit it throughout the internal part as shown on the screen. First sticking everything on the outside, but then passing it with the brush inside so that it is well stuck. As shown in the video at the end, it must be seen more or less as follows. Now we are going to take the rod and we are going to curl one of the nuts more or less at the height of the can with everything in its rondana. We put the rod on the bottom until it stands out in order to put the other nut with the rondana. But only the nut enters until only a bit of the rod protrudes as shown on the screen. Then, we only pull the rod so that it is left to the bottom of the can and screw the other nut until it reaches the base of it, as shown in the video. We only squeeze very well with our key, or in this case our screwdriver, until it is well fixed. This is where they can pour a little glue with the nuts so that it stays instead, but since I am going to leave it loose and then remove it is not necessary. Finally we got a mayonnaise lid in this case and put the silicone throughout the shore so that it is well stuck to the base of the can, and cover the rod so that we can put glass or disposable plastic vessels without being broken by accident. This can also fill it with hot silicone if they have the gun that is larger, and thus remains a complete silicone layer at the base instead of the lid, but that is already left to their criteria. As you can see, this is how it is over, and we can already nail it anywhere in our garden and put it in our drink as shown in the video. And with just a can of beans, a rod and tantita fabric in this case, we can make some holders for the garden that will be very useful for their roasted meats or some meeting they have outside. And so everyone will be able to have their drinks within reach of their hands without having the need to have any table or be separating at the main table to take something, and the best of all is that it is very cheap to do. As you know, if you like this video, please give it a little hand, subscribe, share with all family, friends and acquaintances. Thanks for seeing us, and hopefully they like this advice. As always, see you in the next videos. Thank you.